Meet Ricardo, a 20-year-old young man. Ricardo is known among his friends for his competitive nature. Whether it's grades, gadgets, or games, Ricardo always needs to come out on top. On the other hand, his friends are more laid back and enjoy things for what they are. Ricardo's need to be the best often leads to funny and unexpected situations, much to the amusement of his friends. The spark of competition. One day, Ricardo and his friends are hanging out at the park. Suddenly, a friendly game of frisbee turns into a full-blown competition. Ricardo, determined to prove he's the best, dives for every catch, leading to a series of hilarious tumbles and falls. His friends can't help but laugh as Ricardo's antics turn the simple game into a comedy show. Gadget Showdown. Ricardo's competitive streak extends to gadgets. When his friend Marco shows off his new smartphone, Ricardo immediately feels the need to one-up him. He rushes to the nearest electronics store and buys the latest model, only to realize that the features he bragged about are not that different from Marco's. The friends burst into laughter as Ricardo fumbled with his new phone, trying to justify his hasty purchase. Grades and gloating. At school, Ricardo's competitive nature is just as intense. When grades are posted, Ricardo anxiously checks his marks, hoping to beat his friend, Anna. Upon seeing that Anna scored higher in math, Ricardo spends the entire lunch break trying to convince his friends that the teacher must have made a mistake. His friends listen with amused expressions, knowing Ricardo's tendency to exaggerate. The fitness frenzy. Ricardo's next challenge is a fitness competition. Determined to outdo his athletic friend, Leo, Ricardo signs up for a local race. On race day, Ricardo sprints off at full speed, only to exhaust himself halfway through. Leo, jogging steadily, catches up and offers Ricardo a bottle of water with a cheeky grin. Ricardo accepts, panting heavily, while Leo finishes the race with ease. The sight of Ricardo struggling to keep up becomes a running joke among his friends. Cooking catastrophe. One evening, Ricardo's friends decide to have a cooking contest. Determined to impress, Ricardo attempts an elaborate dish he's never made before. The kitchen turns into a chaotic scene with flour flying, pots clanging, and Ricardo frantically trying to salvage his creation. When it's time to taste, Ricardo's dish is a disaster, while his friends' simple recipes turn out delicious. The group laughs and shares the tasty food, teasing Ricardo about his culinary masterpiece. Gaming Gauntlet. Gaming night is another battleground for Ricardo. Determined to beat his friends at their favorite video game, Ricardo spends hours practicing. However, during the actual game, his overconfidence leads to a series of funny blunders. His friends, seasoned players, effortlessly defeat him, laughing at his dramatic reactions. Ricardo's competitiveness turns the gaming session into a hilarious event, with everyone enjoying the friendly rivalry. The art of competition. When Ricardo learns about an art competition, he decides to showcase his hidden artistic talents. He spends days perfecting his piece, convinced it will be a masterpiece. On the day of the competition, Ricardo proudly presents his work, only to realize that his friend's art, though less polished, captures the judges' hearts with its charm and creativity. Ricardo's overly serious piece contrasts hilariously with the playful and whimsical entries of his friends. The science fair fiasco. At the school science fair, Ricardo is determined to outshine everyone with an elaborate experiment. He constructs a complex contraption, but during the demonstration, it malfunctions spectacularly, causing a series of funny chain reactions. His friends' simpler projects, meanwhile, work perfectly and earn applause. Ricardo, covered in his experiment's debris, laughs along with the crowd, realizing the humor in his over-the-top efforts. Talent show turmoil. Determined to win the school talent show, Ricardo signs up to perform a magic act. He spends weeks practicing, convinced he will dazzle the audience. On the night of the show, however, his tricks go hilariously wrong, with props falling apart and unintended surprises. His friends, performing simple yet charming acts, win the audience's hearts. Ricardo's comedic mishaps make his act memorable for all the wrong reasons. Fashion face-off. Ricardo's competitive nature extends to fashion. When his friend Carla shows off her stylish new outfit, Ricardo feels the need to outdo her. He spends a fortune on designer clothes, only to end up looking uncomfortable and out of place. Carla, in her effortlessly chic outfit, receives compliments, while Ricardo's friends can't help but chuckle at his exaggerated fashion statement. Ricardo learns that confidence and comfort are more important than flashy attire. Sports showdown. During a friendly soccer game, Ricardo's competitive spirit takes over. Determined to score the winning goal, he hogs the ball and tries to take on the entire opposing team by himself. His friends, amused by his antics, watch as Ricardo stumbles, trips, and finally gets tackled. The game ends in a draw, and Ricardo's friends tease him about his solo performance. Despite the mishap, the game brings everyone closer, reminding them that teamwork and fun are what matter most. Debate disaster. Ricardo's next challenge is a school debate. Confident in his ability to out-argue his opponents, he enters the competition with zeal. However, his over-the-top arguments and dramatic gestures turn the serious debate into a comedy show. His friends, participating with calm and well-reasoned points, win the debate. Ricardo's theatrical performance, though entertaining, earns him a special mention for Most Dramatic Debater. Pet Show Pandemonium. At the annual pet show, Ricardo is determined to have the best trained pet. He enters his cat, Mittens, in multiple categories, convinced of their inevitable victory. However, Mittens has other plans and decides to ignore all commands, causing chaos and hilarity. Meanwhile, his friends' pets perform simple tricks and win prizes. Ricardo, chasing after Mittens, ends up covered in feathers and fur, much to the delight of the audience. Holiday havoc. Ricardo's competitive spirit even extends to holiday decorations. Determined to outshine his neighbors, he transforms his house into a glowing spectacle with lights, inflatables, and music. The result is a comical over-the-top display that draws crowds and laughter. Meanwhile, his friends' simple and elegant decorations receive heartfelt compliments. Ricardo's house, though impressive, becomes the talk of the town for its sheer excessiveness. Gardening goof. Ricardo's next challenge is a gardening competition. He decides to create an elaborate topiary sculpture, convinced it will wow the judges. However, his lack of gardening skills turns the project into a hilarious mess. His friends' simple and healthy plants win the competition, while Ricardo's sculpture collapses in a heap of leaves and branches. The sight of Ricardo trying to salvage his creation becomes a highlight of the event. The charity challenge. Ricardo's competitive spirit leads him to organize a charity event. Determined to raise the most money, he comes up with elaborate and overly ambitious plans. His friends, with simpler and more practical ideas, raise funds steadily. Ricardo's event, while entertaining, ends up costing more than it raises. Despite the financial flop, the community enjoys the spectacle, and Ricardo learns that the true spirit of charity is about helping others, not outshining them. Musical mishap. Determined to outshine his friends at a musical recital, Ricardo picks the most challenging piece to perform. He spends weeks practicing but struggles to master it. On the night of the recital, his performance is filled with missed notes and funny mistakes. His friends, performing simpler pieces with confidence, receive applause. Ricardo's comedic performance, though unintentional, brings smiles and laughter to the audience. The puzzle predicament. During a puzzle-solving competition, Ricardo's competitive nature kicks in. Determined to solve the most complex puzzle, he dives into the challenge with intensity. However, his impatience and overthinking lead to hilarious mistakes and frustration. His friends, working together on simpler puzzles, finish quickly and celebrate. Ricardo, finally completing his puzzle after many comical blunders, joins the celebration with a laugh. The dance-off disaster. At a school dance-off, Ricardo is determined to outdance everyone with his complex choreography. As the music starts, his exaggerated moves and dramatic spins lead to a series of funny mishaps, including tripping over his own feet. His friends, with simple and coordinated moves, win the dance-off. Ricardo, laughing at his own clumsiness, joins his friends in a celebratory dance, realizing that having fun is more important than winning. Camping capers. During a camping trip, Ricardo's competitive spirit leads him to take on every challenge, from setting up the tent to starting the campfire. His overconfidence results in funny blunders, including a collapsed tent and a smoky campfire. His friends, working together and enjoying the experience, complete their tasks with ease. Ricardo, covered in soot and twigs, laughs along with his friends, appreciating the humor in his attempts. Board game battles. Game night turns into a battlefield when Ricardo's competitive nature takes over. Determined to win every board game, he strategizes intensely and argues over rules. His friends, playing for fun, enjoy the games and laugh at Ricardo's serious demeanor. Despite his efforts, Ricardo loses most of the games, but the night is filled with laughter and camaraderie, teaching him that winning isn't everything. DIY disasters. Ricardo's next challenge is a DIY home improvement project. Confident in his abilities, he tackles a complex renovation with gusto. However, his lack of experience leads to a series of funny disasters, including a paint spill and a crooked shelf. His friends, with simpler DIY projects, complete theirs successfully. Ricardo, amidst the mess, joins in the laughter, realizing that some things are better left to the professionals. Photography follies. Determined to outdo his friends in a photography contest, Ricardo invests in expensive equipment and spends hours searching for the perfect shot. His friends, using simple cameras, capture candid and heartfelt moments. On the day of the contest, Ricardo's over-edited and staged photos pale in comparison to the genuine and touching photos of his friends. Ricardo, realizing the beauty of simplicity, laughs at his own over-the-top efforts. Trivia triumph. During a trivia night, Ricardo's competitive nature is in full swing. Determined to answer every question correctly, he overthinks and misses easy answers. His friends, with a relaxed approach, answer steadily and win the game. Despite his initial frustration, Ricardo joins in the laughter as the questions get sillier and the answers more creative. Trivia night becomes a highlight of their gatherings, filled with fun and friendly competition. Carnival caper. At the town carnival, Ricardo is determined to win the biggest prize at every booth. His intense efforts lead to funny mishaps, including a water gun malfunction and a misfired ring toss. His friends, playing casually, win small prizes and enjoy the rides. Ricardo, with an armful of consolation prizes, laughs at his own overzealous attempts. The carnival becomes a day of shared laughter and fun, with Ricardo learning to enjoy the moment. Community cleanup. During a community cleanup event, Ricardo's competitive spirit leads him to tackle the biggest and dirtiest area. His friends, working together in smaller sections, make steady progress. Ricardo's area turns into a comedic scene of tangled trash bags and muddy mishaps. Despite the chaos, the community appreciates his efforts, and the event ends with a sense of accomplishment and camaraderie. Friendship and fun. In the end, Ricardo realizes that his friends value fun and togetherness over competition. He learns to relax and enjoy their company, finding humor in his competitive nature. The group continues to engage in friendly challenges, but with a focus on laughter and shared experiences. Ricardo's journey from competitive antics to genuine friendship brings the story to a heartwarming and funny conclusion. Thank you for watching Ricardo's hilarious attempts to be the best lead to unexpected consequences, teaching him valuable lessons about friendship, humility, and the true meaning of success. Share your own stories of friendly competition in the comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.